This is The Mint live on ZTN Prime, your sneak peek into the world of business, finance, and economies. I'm Eben Mabunda. Let's get started. Coming up on The Mint. In the first quarter of the year, Integrated Properties predicted that the Zimbabwean property market was expected to see distinct trends unfold across different sectors. Now, according to the Business Weekly, the residential sector is poised to prioritize affordability, driven by rising demand for smaller units with flexible payment options. This trend would be fueled by increased government support and greater involvement from the private sector. To help us delve deeper into these matters, we will have in the studio later on Ben Nyaumwe, the CEO and founder of Thetan Property, an award-winning property development and investment holding company, of course operating in Zimbabwe and beyond. Now, The Mint will be right back. Don't go anywhere. You're watching The Mint as we're coming to you live from Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. I'm Eben Mabunda. Now, in the first quarter of the year, Integrated Properties predicted that the Zimbabwean property market was expected to see distinct trends unfold across different sectors. According to the Business Weekly, the residential sector is poised to prioritize affordability, driven by rising demand for smaller units with flexible payment options. This trend would be fueled by increased government support and greater involvement from the private sector. However, the report noted a widening gap between supply and demand, particularly in expanding areas around major cities where development is concentrated. Now, to help us unpack these and other subjects, I'm joined in studio by Ben Nyaumwe, the CEO and founder of Thetan Property, an award-winning property development and investment holding company. Hello, Ben, and welcome to The Mint.
Hi, Eben. It's really great to be here and very excited.
Fantastic. Now, from the company's profile, Thetan has developed casinos and resorts, super maximum prisons, five-star hotels, among many other properties, I believe in South Africa. Can you take us through some of these landmarking projects that have been undertaken by Thetan Property?
Sure. Thank you very much, Eben. We are a Zimbabwean property company. I'm a Zimbabwean. I lived and operated in South Africa for 24 years. I ran a company called Auspex Property. And we're very proud of the fact that as a property company, we were responsible for bringing the Radisson Hotel Group into Africa. We developed the first Radisson, and we owned that Radisson. And this was prior to the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. As you know, South Africa is a very racially divided country. Black people haven't had a significant amount of opportunity to excel. As a Zimbabwean South African then, I obviously didn't qualify for BEE. So we were able to achieve this just through our sheer knowledge, expertise, without any special favors. I was then awarded Business Person of the Year in South Africa. That was from Absa Bank and the Herald newspaper and the Nelson Mandela University Business School jointly. South African Business Person of the Year, the Entrepreneur Award. So
quite amazing, I must say.
Yes, and yeah, that's where our history comes from. Now we are back fully in Zimbabwe, and we're operating in Zimbabwe, and all the expertise and knowledge we get, we hope to be able to utilize in the local property market.
I'm also aware that just before the de-dollarization, there were talks of Radisson Blu coming into Zimbabwe, eventually being halted. But that's a subject for perhaps...
Oh, no. Actually, I want to tell you now, live on the show, and the audience watching, that Radisson will be coming to Zimbabwe. That's all I can say for now. Radisson will be coming to Zimbabwe. If we could do it for South Africa, why not do it for our own country?
As follow-up to that, is Staten property a key part of that possibility?
With the absolute engine, starter, motor, radiator, everything, making that thing happen.
Are there timelines at this point?
The timelines, this is quite a tricky commercial transaction. Okay. But I would be saying that hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be able to go public and make formal announcements.
In terms of the plan and how exactly it will play out?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, in terms of your projects and how you've structured them, do you work in collaboration with international institutions? How exactly do you structure your projects?
Okay, so we're a property development company that works and do their own projects. We don't provide professional services to external parties, even though we have been in partnership with Zimnat, the Masawara Group, and a couple of past developments. But always we've developed off our own balance sheet and never for third parties. And as we do that, we return key developer. We manage the design process, we manage the construction process, everything right up until commissioning. So we do work with partners here locally. We work with some great, amazing firms. We work with Southland, a really great team of engineers. We work with TDW and Turnberry. We're working with Owner Design. We're working with C. Kunaka. Consulting engineers. So we work with a number of professionals in the built environment.
Right. Now, Zimbabwe has a housing deficit of about an estimated 2 million units plus. The stats are always going to vary depending on which aggregates are being employed. Now, may you speak to the efforts that you are putting in place to try and bridge that particular gap?
Okay, so at the moment, we've got the first of a number of really amazing residential developments that we've launched. We're busy with the 2267 Lifestyle Estate, which is the first lifestyle estate development in Zimbabwe. We're very happy to see other developers are now getting into the lifestyle estate area. But we're doing an 80-unit development. This is has been done on a piece of land that has been rezoned when the ED Mnangagwa Highway, when that new master plan was developed. The city found it necessary to allow for densification. And we think that was a very good move by the city. You do want to be able to densify. You do want to bring people closer to the services. So we've responded with a semi-densified development in 2267 Lifestyle Estate at the moment. And there will be a few more projects that we'll be releasing before the end of the year and announcing.
I've got to ask this. While real estate as an industry is advocating for rapid urbanization as a measure to perhaps lessen the housing backlog that is prevalent in this country, urbanization has been considered one of the prevalent causes of cultivable land loss and habitat destruction and perhaps a declining natural vegetation cover. How do you think a balance can be found where this subject is actually concerned?
Well, as I mentioned, the new local development plan for ED Mnangagwa was a very positive move by the city of Harare in allowing for densification. So, for example, we own a 2.4 hectare piece of land. We've been allowed to densify. Traditionally, that would have been big enough, about 12 residential units within the old master plan. But at the present moment now, that number can actually go up to into the hundreds because we have a height restriction there of 14 stories. Now, when the city allows densification in already developed areas, it means that you don't have to be taking virgin agricultural land and using that for development. You understand? So I think with some very clever town planning, we can mitigate the loss of good agricultural land by allowing densification and allowing people to be closer to their services and ensuring that the infrastructure that is in place already is optimized and utilized even more efficiently if there's more densification around it, around that infrastructure. So that's what I would say in response to that.
Have you had any issues with environmental agencies such as EMA?
Well, you know, if you are a smart developer, no, seriously, if you are a smart developer and you are seeking sustainable development solutions or space solutions, you've got to then recognize that EMA is a partner. EMA is not a body to be afraid of or to fear. You really need to engage EMA and bring them on board as soon as you can in the earliest planning stages of your development. Because, you know, what EMA is trying to ensure is that we have we do developments in a sustainable way. We don't damage the environment. If we damage the environment, you know, we're robbing from our children and our children's children. So doing sustainable developments is a prerogative. For us, it's everything. And this is why you find that at the 2267 Lifestyle Estate, we are seeking to become the first green-rated residential development in the country, and we are seeking that grading from the Green Building Council of South Africa, which is a little bit more sophisticated than the Zimbabwe Green Building Council. I think our Green Building Council is still starting out. So we've gone to the guys that have been doing it for a lot longer and to be tested by the very best that there are on the continent. So I haven't had, our organization has had no problems at all with EMA. We work with EMA within the input, and the controls that they put in place on development are actually for our good and for the good of our environment and for sustainable development. So we think they're a very important stakeholder.
Right. Of course, I will take you up on the subject of the 2267 project that you have undertaken. But we'll take a quick breather. When we come back, we look at all matters Zimbabwean property landscape. They're meant to be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Pardon?
Look up.
Whoa!
Okay.
Okay.
I'm Ollie J, your host and captain for this technological voyage.
They say that curiosity killed the cat. Well, we say curiosity makes you swipe.
Okay, there's a real big one. Oh, okay.
Okay, take the elevator.
Okay,
Where they
that
going?
one
Look
came
up,
out of
look
the-
up.
From some tech-tastic adventures to some out-of-this-world Zimbabwean inventions to the scientifically mind-boggling, we show it all.
What we're looking at is two charging ports to charge the vehicle.
And things get electric. Catch Swipe right here on ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294.
You're watching The Mint as we come to you live from Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. We are discussing all matters property in Zimbabwe as well as beyond, with, of course, a capable panelist here joining us on The Mint, Ben Nyaumwe, the CEO and founder of Thayton Property. Of course, we pick up from where we left. You'd mentioned the 2267 project. which is a lifestyle estate, which has got units that are being sold for $125,000 per unit. At least that's from the bottom, of course, going up. What is your target market where these units are concerned?
Thank you, Eben. The 125 is inclusive of that.
125.
So the actual price is just 100,000, 99,500.
All right.
You know, when you've been developing out of the country and they publish prices inclusive of that, and you realize, oh, no, I shouldn't have included that. But yeah, just an important note. What was the question again?
Right. The question is, who is your target
Okay,
market? And maybe
So-
you can tell us more in terms of even the location of these units and how you are navigating that.
All right. So even our target market, you know, we've tried to come up with AAA kind of products, but we are targeting young professionals, people seeking to get into the property market, who cannot get a mortgage from the financial institutions. At present, our financial institutions will probably give you a year mortgage if you are fortunate. But what we've done is we have given a 7-year payment period at a mere 1% per month, which is 12% per annum interest rate, and we require a 40% deposit payable over 3 months, and the balance of your purchase price can be paid over 7 years. So this development is designed for young professionals as well as those people just looking to grow their property investment stock. You know, if you had to pay off your full purchase price,
exclusive of VAT, that's about 40,000.
$40,000.
$40,000.
So if you sell your car, you take a small loan, you got your deposit, you're in the property. Yeah?
And
But
40,000
al-
staggered over 3 months.
Yes. But also there's a lot of people who are paying $1,500, $1,000, $2,000 rental. You probably may need to pay an additional $100, $200, and now you are in the property game. You're a property owner. You're living in your own house as opposed to being a tenant.
So we're talking about payments of about 1.5.
It depends. It could be as low as $800 a month. Your payment amount, if you're on 7 years and you've bought a 1-bedroom unit, it will be significantly higher if you've bought a 3-bedroom loft apartment, a premium loft apartment, and you're paying over 7 years. Yeah, but the ranges are from about $700 a month up to about $3,500 a month.
Right. You mentioned the green rated aspect of the building. May you speak to some of the features and how relevant they are, given, of course, the green revolution that has become a subject of conversation around the world with the COP conferences, as well as also even in Zimbabwe, with a particular stance having been taken by the Ministry of Housing, and how critical that is to your undertakings.
Okay, so, Eben, your energy consumption is probably one of the most important things. Our properties, our units, their energy consumption compared to a traditional home that people were building in the 80s, 90s, we are probably going to be consuming anywhere between 15 to 20% of that old energy consumption according to the old building standards. We have reduced our energy consumption by introducing our really amazing smart technology. So for example, your hot water is provided by a heat pump, which works with a heat exchanger that takes ambient hot air from the heat from the ambient air, compresses that and heats up your water. The energy efficiency of the system is more. It's about 20% energy that is utilized
20%.
by a solar geyser. By a solar geyser, we're talking 1/5 of the energy utilized by a solar geyser. So, we've gone and we've selected smart energy appliances with nothing less than a 4 AAA star rating.
Okay.
We've also made our homes smart. So you can control your energy consumption via your phone anywhere you are, as long as you have access to the internet. So on the energy side, we've ensured that our energy usage is very low. And because it was so low, we were then able to put an inverter and a lithium-ion battery in every apartment that comes with your apartment, to give you that backup power, because we understand in Zimbabwe energy is a challenge.
Certainly,
we
and of
often
course
have blackouts, we often have load shedding, and faults happening on the grid.
Yeah, certainly, and of course, it has become a common challenge to Zimbabwe, South Africa, Zambia, especially in the face of the El Nino and some of the aging equipment and some of the power plants. Moving on to another subject. Zimbabweans have fallen prey to a lot of swindlers and a lot of hoodwinkers, I would like to say, on the market. I've got to ask this. Why should one consider doing business with Thayton Property? And what guarantee is there that they're engaging with a legitimate entity as opposed to some of the market players who have wreaked havoc on the Zimbabwean market?
Yeah, that's really been a challenge for us. We found that as a company without a very long history in Zimbabwe, we have a very long history in South Africa, that, we all get painted with the same brush. Okay. And everybody thinks every developer is out to scam you. I would like to invite you to visit our website and just see the type of professionals that we have in our management team, the kind of institutions that they've run. So, for example, our CEO was the CEO of the Gauteng Partnership Fund, the biggest fund in Johannesburg in the Gauteng province. He was CEO of that. He ran that fund for a good 8 years. So, you're talking about a credible professional who is out there, who is a public figure in many regards. As I mentioned to you, I'm a former Business Person of the Year winner in South Africa. We've done a significant amount of projects that, people can visit our website and see what we've done, can actually go and look at newspaper articles and see that, we deliver. The Medical Specialist Center that we did in Belgravia, it took us 4 years to finish that building. And we persevered through all of the currency changes, from being a one-to-one era to all of those different things that we went through. But we finished because, we thought it was just so important for our brand and our name that we stay true to what we've committed to do.
Of course.
So it's most unfortunate many people have been scammed. I think any person buying must do their due diligence on Thayton Property. Check out our planning permissions. Ensure that our deeds are properly registered. Ensure that the development permit we have in place is genuine. And all of this documentation is available to any investor to be able to go to any authority and verify the authenticity of such.
Right. Now, when you look at Zimbabwe's foreign currency incomes, I would put it, you'd find that diaspora remittances are averaging about $2 billion United States dollars on an annual basis. Now the question is this: we have seen a lot of diasporans investing in property in Zimbabwe, and much traction and much activity going on where that is actually concerned. What is your assessment of this particular trend, and what are some of the opportunities that could be tapped into from that perspective?
Oh, I think that's very important. Zimbabwe's out in the diaspora. We want your money. Bring it back home. Invest in your homeland. And we are coming after you. We are coming to there's a Zimbabwean property showcase that is going to be held in Birmingham, England next month. This has been organized by SEEF. And we are going because we think that we've got the right quality product. that the Zimbabwean living in England would be expecting. We think our products are of the equivalent nature, if not better. So yes, we are actually participating in roadshows and promoting not only Zimbabweans in the diaspora, but even any other foreign investors to come and invest in the local property market. It's very important for our economy. We're open for business, and we must do everything we can to get more diaspora remittances.
Right. Now, we've been seeing quite a trend of business moving away from the central business district, particularly in Harare, to other areas, Mount Pleasant Business Park, and areas of such nature. What's your comment where this trend is concerned, and how do you, as a property developer, navigate that terrain and that interest into out of CBD spaces, I'll put it?
Okay. So, Eben, I praise the city of Harare for being very forward-looking in their town planning. Ms. Butuza and the other people at town planning at City of Harare. In this particular instance, I think the city is doing us a disservice. I think that the level of cleanliness of the CBD is a problem, and that's a City of Harare issue. I think that the amount of compliance to bylaws is minimal, and that's a City of Harare issue. I think that, we've seen a lot of informalization happen in the CBD, which is very bad for corporate business. But there is an opportunity there for the city to do like what they did on the old Beatrice Road and build those markets and try and find a way to accommodate these informal traders so that they don't come onto the pavements of people's offices and buildings. I think we still have a great CBD. If you've traveled around Africa and been into some of the CBDs in the range of the continent, I think we still have a great CBD. I think we can still gentrify and clean up our CBD. We've seen it happen in Johannesburg. We've seen it happen in Cape Town and right here in Africa. And with some of the projects that we are looking at, which are CBD based, we are totally for CBD rejuvenation.
Right, now we are running out of time. Very quickly, what's your assessment of the legislative framework around the development of high-rise buildings in the metropolises of Zimbabwe?
I think it's a great move. I'm totally for going up. It allows for more densification. So you don't have to stretch your infrastructure much further out. You can have infrastructure in a shorter space and servicing a lot more people. So I think it's a great and positive move, and we must allow for people to be able to build and go up.
Well, of course, Ben Nyaumwe, founder and CEO of Thayton Property. Ben, thank you for joining us on The Mint.
Thank you very much, Eben.
Fantastic. And of course, that's a wrap on today's episode of The Mint. Do follow us on our social media handles at Zim Papers TV Network as well as at ZTN Prime. Your thoughts and views are important, of course, to us. Remember to catch us every weekday at 2 p.m. Central African Time for the juiciest business stories in Zimbabwe, on the continent and beyond. I'm Eben Mabunda, Money Man. Let them do what they do. When we do what we do, we mean business. Thank you for watching and have a good day.
Following the story.
What is happening on Zimbabwe's roads? How did we get here? Through red robots. Basically break every road rule under the sun.
izvo so inini ndakadhakwa nembanje dzangu ndikaenda kuchipatara ndaunorapwa ka handibatsiri
asi ndikazvishaya tetega aiwa.
Deeper analysis.
So, are you ready and prepared if violence rears up?
Jacob Mafume